What's going on, guys? I hope you had a good week and a good and safe Memorial Day weekend. I'm recording this as the first and hopefully a very long and successful series of videos covering marathon training again. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of my Marathon Training 2 series. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. This is episode 5. And what's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 6 of my Marathon Training 2 series. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 7 of my Marathon Training series. And what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is episode 10 of my Marathon Training 2 series. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. This is episode 11. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to episode 14. What's up, guys? Episode of my Marathon Training 2 series, Labor Day weekend edition of my Marathon Training 2 series. What's going on, guys? Dakota here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the next episode of my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. I hope you had a great weekend. Happy Monday and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope you all had a great week and a great weekend. I welcome you back to my channel for my Marathon Training 2 series. What's up, guys? How's it going? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back once again to episode 24 of my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my Marathon Training 2 series. It's been a very long time since I've done one of these like this, and I'm not really sure how I did it for so long before. But here we are, December 21st, 2020, and I am about to run a marathon today. It is not an official marathon. I'm doing it on my own because the San Antonio Marathon was officially canceled this year, and I am about to run 26.2 miles for the third time technically, ever. YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the finale of my Marathon Training 2 series here on YouTube. It's been a long time coming, but it has finally come and gone. And here is my final, I guess, as I mentioned, my final episode of my Marathon Training 2 series. It's been a long year. I'm excited to go over the conclusion with you here, as well as kind of talk about, the plans kind of moving forward. I couldn't be happier with how this series has turned out, and I hope you all enjoyed it every step of the way. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps me out, and I would truly appreciate it. As well as, if you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing started with the results of my Marathon Training 2. I figured we would start where we always would start these videos, and that is with the calendar. I'm going to, as you can see, we're doing it a little differently, just because this is the last one of these. We're going to go over the runs I did leading up to Sunday, where I did my run. And then we're going to do a little bit of a separate thing for covering the actual marathon itself. So the week of, I did 3 runs. I told myself I was going to do 4, but then I ended up just kind of giving myself the last day as a one final rest day. So to go over them very quickly because they are very, very straightforward runs. We did a Monday run of 1 mile warm up, 2 miles of just strides, so kind of just getting up and moving, and then a 1 mile cool down. Ended up being 4 miles, averaged about 9 minutes 40 seconds a mile, and then finished in just over 38.5 minutes. This was a good one, I think, to begin the week with because it allowed me to get up and move a little quicker, kind of get out and stretch the legs a little bit, especially after the few days that I had before where I took them off. So it definitely was a good way to get worked back up into the week. Then the following morning, 3 miles, 9:56 a mile, just under 30 minutes. This was another one where, as you can see, I started tapering down as we get going in the week. This was one where I was focusing on, keeping good form, but not necessarily worried about pace as much. And then finally, we had Thursday, where I did just 2 miles, basically just around the block a couple times. 2 miles, 10:19 a mile, I think that should be 20:46 total, not 10:46 total, so that is a bit of my bad. But those were the runs that were leading up to Sunday, where I decided to do my marathon. And as you can see, and as I mentioned, these are just very easy taper down runs just to keep my body moving throughout the week to make sure that I wasn't getting too stagnant. That would hurt me in the long run. So now that I've covered these, let's take a quick second. Let's jump over to my official marathon finishing stats and kind of the results from that. So let's go ahead and let's jump over there. So here we are on my Strava profile for the run I did on Sunday, where I did as you can see, my 2020 marathon on my own. Here we'll kind of take a look at the final statistics from this run, as well as kind of taking a look at the route I planned and did run, kind of going on it. So without beating around the bush too much, let's go ahead. We'll cover these stats real quick. As you can see, 26.21 miles in 5 hours, 31 minutes, 50 seconds, with an average pace of 12 minutes and 40 seconds. It was a long 5.5 hours. But I knew going in that it was going to be an extremely long run, and I knew I had to pace myself to begin with. And I think ultimately this 5.5 hour time wasn't necessarily my goal at the beginning of the year, but considering everything that happened this year and kind of the situation that I was put in with, all of 2020, we'll just leave it at that. I think I couldn't be happier with how this turned out. I went out on my own and ran an entire marathon on a random Sunday immediately before the week of Christmas, which I could not be happier with. As you can see just below, let me use my mouse here, my moving time for the marathon was 5 hours, 8 minutes, and 50 seconds. I'll go into this a bit more when we get down to the map, but I did take a bit of a break in the middle to stretch out a bit, eat something solid. So again, when we get to the map, I ended up doing 2 big loops with a break kind of in between in my apartment, where I ate a couple of things that were solid, used the restroom, that kind of thing, that kind of stuff. So my total time ended up being 5.5 hours, but my moving time was 5 hours, 8 minutes, and 50 seconds. So I'm kind of looking at that number and considering that kind of I know it doesn't exactly work this way, because even if it was a race, it would definitely not work this way. I did my marathon quicker than I did my first one. That's how I'm choosing to look at it. I'm making the rules here, and so that's what we're going to stick with. So I hope you're okay with that. But it was a very, very fun experience as a second time. Here is the route that I did. If you follow my running Instagram, you'll notice that this is very, very similar to my normal Sunday route that I normally run, because I know exactly approximately how far that normally is. And so when I was planning this out, I since I knew how far that was, it was easy for me to come up with how far I would need to go to hit 26 miles. So I did effectively 2 loops of this. You'll see slight differences here and there. So I start here at my apartment, and I follow effectively the same track both times, except the first loop was slightly shorter. from what I normally would do. So I followed my normal route before turning around, cutting it a bit short here, following the my normal route back around downtown, and then back up. This is where I took my break. You can find that here, my mile 15. This is where Strava counted my break, where I stopped to use the restroom, ate something, and then got back out there. So you can it's effectively split up between miles 1 to 14, and then once I got going again, 16 to 26. So if we take a quick peek at my splits, you can see that I definitely was focused heavily for the first 5 miles of starting out very, very slowly, keeping my energy up and not necessarily coming out of the gate a little too fast. From there, miles 6 to 9, I kind of got into a nice little groove after that. And where was that? Yeah, that's coming down the backside. So this backside along here normally is kind of downhill for me, so I like to speed it up a bit. So that's where I kind of hit a good stride before kind of slowing back down again as I came in to the break point, so basically my apartment. From there, as I mentioned, I changed, used the restroom, ate something, a couple bananas and a granola bar, I think, before setting back out to effectively do the same thing again, but this time in reverse, where instead of doing a full loop around downtown, I followed back around before kind of weaving my way back around and ending up near-ish my apartment. So this, looking at the map like this, makes it seem so easy, but being out doing it was extremely, extremely tough. And it was something I couldn't be more proud of myself for doing. I also can't help but compare my first marathon to this one, thinking back to how I felt and how I managed the last half, or the last third, I'll say. In 2018, when I ran my first marathon, I remember I hit the wall very, very, very hard at mile 20, to the point where I think I walked probably 95% of miles 20 to, or miles 21 to 24. Maybe short spurts of a block or two within those, and then from there it was kind of I saw the finish line and kind of was able to slightly make my way those last couple of miles down towards the finish line. But for this, my final time may end up being slower than my first marathon. I definitely felt as though I was in better shape this time, as when I hit the wall this time I managed to work it back into where I was doing half mile to a mile splits again every once in a while. Every time I would stop to walk, I would always try and run just as far or farther to follow it up. And I definitely felt like it was a lot more successful this time than it was in 2018. So I definitely think I was better overall prepared, but I think it was the idea of doing 2 big loops of the same route that I think kind of did me in, as well as, being stuck doing it on my own. Not that that's much of an excuse, but when it's hard to explain the difference between an actual race day where there's, thousands of people surrounding you, running just right along with you, that kind of helps propel you along. And doing this on my own, I started at just before 6 a.m., I believe. And so being out that early with no one out, it was very different feeling doing the first, probably 6 miles before it really felt like anyone was even awake. It was kind of just me out there on my own. And it was very, very different feeling from the beginning of the 2018 marathon, where once again you're surrounded by thousands of people making their way out at the same time. It was very different feeling. But at the same time, I think it helped me focus in the beginning a little bit more. I think in 2018 I took out way too fast, and it kind of doomed me a little bit down the road. But this time I definitely was focused on keeping my pace low, or slower, not to burn through all of my energy immediately out of the gate. But this is my marathon. This is my 2020 marathon, and I could not be happier to have this on my record, because not only did I do it on my own, it took a culmination of a year's worth of work, and it showed itself in this. I mean, I went from training an entire year in 2018 to run a marathon to basically almost taking the entirety of 2019 off, and kind of fell back on bad habits, and I got back to a place that I wasn't happy with, and so I found myself rededicating myself for another entire year to accomplishing this same goal. Now, where we go from here, I think we're going to cover in a minute, but for now, this is my 2020 marathon. Once again, I thank you all for following along, watching these videos. I think these videos have been a fun result of this training as well. I forgot how much I enjoyed the creativity aspect of doing these, the accountability aspect of doing these once a week, as well as just being able to see my progress over time, which I don't think I necessarily got to see as much last time. So I think it was definitely a very motivating thing for me to do these, and I thank you all for watching. But for now, I think we'll send it back to the desk. We'll send it back to just me. We'll talk about kind of the future of this and kind of my plans going forward from here, and we'll see what comes of it from here. But once again, I've said it for the 6th or 7th time, thank you all for following along with me this year. I'm getting a little choked up on the side, but this is one of my greater achievements, I think, for me personally, and I'm very thankful for everyone who came along on this journey with me. But let's send it back over. We'll talk about what the future holds, and we'll go from there. All right. Guys, I can't believe I'm saying it, but this actually wraps up the series of my Marathon Training 2, videos. I don't want to get too, too emotional about it again, but this would have been episode 31, but it is the finale of my Marathon Training 2 series. And I think it is a very punctual and very, very good finish to this series. It is very successful both for me, and I hope you all enjoyed it along the way. Going forward, I want to keep running, and I think tracking these and making these videos has been a lot of fun, so I think I want to continue to do that. But towards the goal, I am not sure. I should have automatic entry into the 2021 San Antonio Marathon. So I think that is going to still be on the docket. Whether I train for it immediately, I'm not sure. I want to keep running at least a few times a week, so I'll continue to make these, kind of give brief. Maybe they're just brief things, maybe not so much grandioseness, at least in my own mind, but we'll see. I think after talking with some friends and family, I think I may commit myself to working on my half marathon. For at least the first part of 2021, maybe potentially looking for a race around May or June to do a half, and then maybe from there, depending on how that goes, maybe we'll take a look back at the marathon that'll be quickly coming up at that point, and then kind of dedicating myself for the last few months before that to retraining for the 2021 San Antonio Marathon, which would have very, very high hopes for myself, and being able to finally break the 5-hour mark after would be 3 years at that point. 2 years of running, 3 years total. So I think that is going to potentially what I'm looking at from here. We'll see how this shifts and changes. I'm planning on making another calendar for 2021. I'm really enjoying that. And I hope you all look forward to coming on this next leg of the journey with me. Who knows, Marathon Training 3 may roll around sooner than we thought. Maybe we'll come up with a better name besides just Marathon Training number. But maybe a half Marathon Training video series comes next, and then maybe a Marathon Training 3 comes after that. So we'll see where we go from here. But once again, I thank you all for coming with me on this journey. I hope you enjoyed seeing my progress, my ups, my downs. In no way was this meant to be a perfect series of, perfect training and then perfect results. This was real life. What happened to me went through my head. I had very high highs and I had some pretty low lows after going back through and looking at the videos I made. But this is life for a normal person who's just trying to better himself and get a little better at this running thing. But for now, I will officially sign off here, mark the end of my Marathon Training 2 series. I appreciate you all for watching. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. If not, that's okay too. But for now, that's going to do it for me for this one, guys. And I'll see you guys hopefully next week.